Hello everybody, and welcome to the second match of the finals in the third European qualifiers in the Alienware Awesome Cup 2. That's a lot of numbers, isn't it?
That was a lot of numbers, and I commend you for your effort on giving those numbers. You want to know what numbers we're going to see, though? Tetris File Snipe racking up those damage numbers. No, just kidding.
God. Is that... We're going to be seeing more of what we just saw, aren't we?
I believe we are, but before we get into that, we're just going to take a quick look at what these wonderful people are going to be competing for, and a quick message from our sponsors. A huge shout out to Alienware for supplying those Alienware alphas, and a huge shout out to Gosu Gamers for just being awesome and having the draft system up and hosting those tournament brackets. Huge shout out to Ronimo for obviously producing the game, and obviously powered by ES Champ. Those guys over there are awesome. And taking a look at what people are going to be competing for, the $1,800 is going to go to the first place position, along with 3 Alienware alphas, some Steam items, a golden game badge. Second place, $900, 3 more Alienware alphas, some Steam items.
That's good. That's good.
And some silver in-game, and some silver. You're my hype man right now.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Third place is going to be getting $900, some Steam items, and a bronze in-game badge. And fourth place is going to be getting $450 and some more Steam items. That being said, let's take a look at the drafts and picks for our second game of the finals. We're basically seeing the same thing. We're seeing another Ted Scree Coco versus Boom, playing that Frog, playing that Vinny, and playing that Scoop. And we're on Sirona again. We've seen Sirona quite a bit today, but we're going to be getting to the second game of the finals. And let's just get straight into it at this point. Nada, give us a countdown, and let's begin.
You got it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So Nada, my question to you is, Tetris, yes or no? Yay or
yes.
no?
Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
He's picking up that Tetris already. And
for the long term, I would say nay, but for the quick early game as they're doing, it's definitely a yay.
What's see right now is Edster is going to fight that out in mid, take a lot of damage. He's going to be forced to go up there, grab some health, and get back right into the fray. And, you know, we've seen both of these teams run these comps. We saw last game. Anything different this game that you would expect to see? Maybe a different purchase of upgrades or series that they're going to buy?
Oh, they're on the different side of the map now, so I'm not too sure. So far, it's pretty similar to what we just saw.
Yep, we see that early mid-control coming out on Gelati's part, being able to kind of take that mid-control with the barrage of Ted snipes.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be seeing a lot of early struggle for the mid, and then once mid dominance has been asserted, we're going to be seeing Solar Farm until that second half of the mid game where the great push is going to happen, and then
they're taking a huge chunk of health out from that double dash again very early. Even now, you see that double dash, how powerful it is. It takes him down to about 4.5 bars.
Yeah, and you can it's one of those comps so you can just stack up more damage very easily. It's very easily applied, and it is very reliable.
But as you said before, you know, we're basically seeing the same beginning openings again. Both teams kind of sharing that mid control. Now that Boom has pushed into it, let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully Edster can continue to... And the double dash coming out again, and Edster taking a lot of damage. He's going to be forced to get back as Flush Gogo and Cool J get in there. TLR is in a bit of a pickle right now. He's caught out of position, but uses the totem to his advantage.
Oh, oh, that was some clever ball. That's a nice ball actually coming up.
Definitely a nice prediction ball coming out there, as we saw that chase coming out from Scree, but he was being very cheeky with that play on top of the totem.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that could have worked out because Scree cannot jump once he has locked in his height. If you know what I'm saying. So he had no chance of getting up there. It's only because the totem despawned that he was able to actually poke out the teleport and cancel it.
We see Edster just trying to maintain that constant assault down there. He's keeping up those damage numbers. He's been on point with his snipes these games. We saw last game with that really great snipe up top that secured that kill on Paolo in the first game. But, you know, Kulte is actually going to be taken down by TLR right now, and that is going to be another, the first kill of the second game.
We're in another match now. We're not still in the other.
That's right. The tables have turned and the sides have switched. One team is now using A, and one team is now using D to move. That is
surely a staggering difference, and I'm sure they'll have to do a great amount of work to be able to compensate for these
very drastic changes that both teams are going to be under. You know, they're really working under the elements right now as it's raining in Sur. I'm just kidding.
No, I
turf field. The ball's going to keep rolling. Oh, wrong sport. Sorry. We're in Awesome Knots as opposed to football.
Yes. So we do, however, have region. I don't believe they have that in football.
Gatorade, maybe. That's their region.
Well, we are seeing more region as we did before, and I am actually suspecting this is going to go the exact same way. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because otherwise they would have to see Boom get a lot more kills, and I don't think necessarily that's what we need. I think we need to see Gelati sort of, you know, get together their comp, make sure they as you said, the post-burst potential that they have is immense. So if they can survive, that's the key point here. If they can survive, they'll be able to get a lot of damage in them. They have a great push potential as well.
Putting a huge emphasis on if they survive the burst that Boom puts out. And, you know, hopefully they can, and they can kind of come back and take game 2 and have this go to a game 3.
Oh yeah, well, if that is to happen, they definitely need to, you know, focus up their AAs. They gotta get sure they're really buff and can take a beating. And then as soon as the burst is out, they come back and they just hit hard with that AA, just melts anything in their way. But that has to depends on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? It's really going to depend on how the match progresses.
Yeah, they definitely need to keep that burst, and you know that totem is a huge deciding factor in whether a lot of the burst is going to hit. And Blah going in right now on Flushgo, and Flushgo maybe taking no, Kulte's going to get the kill on Blah, but Paolo right there for the return, taking out Edster in a 1-for-1 right now, and Paolo is going to be on map with Flushgo as they're going to duke it out for supremacy, but Paolo just decides to go farm, and the set it and forget it Saw coming out, allowing the droid push for Gelati up top.
I think Gelati has something with region. Everyone is just rushing it for some reason, and I'm having a hard time determining why that is.
Actually, yeah, and I would like to know as well, so if any members of Gelati are in the chat, if you'd be so kind as to let us know what your thoughts were as to picking up regen as opposed to getting damage, I would really like to know, so that would be a cool thing for us to kind of experience. So you could just let us know in the chat box in Twitch, and that would be awesome. And
look at all that
is coming out right now. Edster is going to be on the run. Paolo getting knocked back by the ball, actually, and that is going to secure the kill for him. We'll give the assist to Cool J on that one for knocking Paolo down into Edster.
All right, and we're gonna be entering the second half of the early game here, and I think that Boom has set themselves up for mid dominance so far. As soon as Paolo get that silence cloud, they're gonna be able to keep it really locked down, and that's gonna give them a lot of farm under the worm.
Yeah, and we see Blah just continuously farming that bottom worm. We're seeing some of these upgrades come out now, some damage being output by Scree's AA. And that regen, it's very early regen, and we see the Frog picking up early regen, actually. So it's going to be interesting to see how this regen, that 180 solar coming out on 2 players, actually, no, on all 3 players, is going to play into account to marginalize their lack of attack power.
Yes, see, I would be expecting pills, if anything, to deal with the burst and all. That would be my... If I had to pick utility first, I would probably have gone with that.
You know, earlier on we said we weren't too sure, but I think it's to stay on map longer, and that is where I think it came into play that, okay, we need to get this regen, we just need to be on map. We need to be able to push. But then again, obviously, as you said before, it could be substituted, and Ezra's going to take a lot of damage right now.
The totem save, actually making sure that it's going to be a trade rather than a kill.
I would like to see knockback come out on Ted.
Oh yes. If you stack up knockback and you have Tedra's Vial, you're gonna have a lot of, we like those upgrades.
Exactly. It's just gonna be the pokes. It's gonna be the pokes on them. They say, hey, you know what? That's great. You're in my face. Cool. You're gonna take a 300 shotty to the face. Oh, hey, what's that? You're within Tedra's range? No problem. Another 150. 450. Well, actually, 320 is his max base AA without Starstorm. So, it's a lot of damage.
Ted actually got arrested once for hosting a poker night. Poker. Oh god, you're not funny.
See yourself out.
The door is right there.
You know where the door is. But
I know. I'm very sorry. And he was let off with a warning. I was changing the story to make it more interesting.
But we're seeing mid control kind of shift into Gelati's control right now as TLR takes an airstrike. Blah's looking to get that dash off, and that totem is going to prevent a lot of damage from being dealt as Blah is kind of on the hunt for that scurry up there. And all members of Gelati notice it and come to the rescue. But I think Scree should be picking up slow at this point, slowing down that Frolic, slowing down that Vinny, and really reducing their mobility and taking advantage of that with that Tetris snipe.
Oh, they're baiting with the worm. Look at that.
And Kulch is taking a lot of damage right now, but narrowly avoids Paolo's spike dive, but he's still going to be assaulted by TLR right now, and TLR is going to be on the run. TLR is going to get picked up, and Flush Gogo and Edster are going to be able to secure one.
Exactly the post burst we were talking about, isn't it?
It definitely is. They were able to survive that burst and able to hunt people down after that, and this is a post-burst comp. And
and if they can get the get the AA in, then they'll be able to push out like crazy.
And Kutz is taking a lot of damage right now, but is able to escape again, and they're surviving this burst despite. And we actually see pills coming out on Scree right now. One stage of it, and Ted looks like he's going to pick up a stage of his AA.
Oh, that's gonna help him, I think. Like, the more damage they get, the better, and that's just for everything because they're gonna be able to stack up a lot of push because they only really need one kill. Oh, and Blame secures that kill by giving TLR a great hammer to finish up with, but Blah does go down to the DOT of Coco, something that she has.
There's that one-for-one exchange we were talking about. You need to make the best out of a bad situation, and that's what Gelati did. They've got that DOT kill and picked up that frog.
Oh yeah, and see what they gotta do is just they want to get the push in. They really want to get the push in.
Paulo with a very risky dive there. He's going to be taking a lot of damage and forced to go back, but TLR is there to help him out on the escape. And Gelati is taking control of this mid again. And at this point, I can say, it's been pretty even as far as mid control goes.
I was actually thinking that Boom would be the mid-dominant factor, but there's no Silence Cloud yet, so that is not going to happen anytime soon. At least not for... I think it's not something that that's going to be game deciding, and that's going to happen with the Silence Cloud, because when you have the Silence Cloud, you don't want to be going into a mid ever. Not with a frog, not with anyone, basically. Especially if he gets Rocketeer right after that.
Oh, yes. That cloud is going to be huge, and those mid fights are going to be shifted very quickly. And Edster's going to be in a very bad spot right now, as Paolo's saving the dash, knowing when he's going to hit it for sure. And a very nice play on Paolo's part.
Aim it. Just feel him aim it.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that Boom can actually move the game up. They can get some push going, but they do not have the droids on their side, at least not on top. Bottom is fairly even, it's in the mid, but they want to make sure they move the droids up. They don't actually farm it now. They want to get the push going, starting up a bit earlier than you usually do in Serrano, or you want to of course push up earlier, but usually you can't really do that in Serrano due to the huge scale of the map and how far the droids are exposed. I mean, they have to walk a long way.
Definitely, but you see it in the kind of push aspect now in regards to that Boom is opting to push instead of farm that worm. And actually, Flush Go-Go goes the wrong way and is going to get picked up by Blah. He's looking to try and get that quick escape, but Blah knows it and just stays on him and is able to secure that kill. And Quilche is actually going to be looking to save his buddy Edster, but Edster's going to be taking a lot of damage right now. Paolo's going to be able to escape, and Blah is going to be able to pick it up, and that is actually not a wipe, but that is going to be a triple kill in a sense.
In a sense. Well, we're going to have Flush Go-Go back, but they should be able to get at least some turret damage in. See, that's again the whole how far do we have to get the droids going on Serona, which is going to mean that if you don't have the droids up, you're going to have a hard time actually getting the push in. So getting the kills, you have to time it to get an effective push early on in Serona.
And Frog spending a whopping 570 solar, getting that 300 dash, the 300 solar dash, and getting a shield, I believe. And that Silence Cloud now being picked up by Vinny. That was, I just noticed it now. He picked it up a few seconds ago. But Paolo's actually looking to farm that worm and deal a lot of damage on Edster. Edster's going to be taking a lot of damage, and Blah's going to be picking up Edster, and Flush Go-Go is trying to get that post-burst, as we were talking about, but is not going to be able to hunt anyone down, as all members of Team Boom are very mobile and able to survive quite a bit.
I mean, Scoop, we've been talking about this. Scoop used the sponge of damage, and I think we had something else, but don't talk about that. My great metaphors and descriptive imagery is unmatched. But we have like these characters. Vinny is going to be able to take a punch because he does have that regen cloud, and I mean, Frog is with his agility. He is going to have.
And Edster's actually going to be picked up by Paolo, but you know, this brings up a huge question. In a comp like this, who do you focus?
Well, it's really because it works so well. That's a good comp. You don't really have a specific target. The easiest target to go after would be Scoop, and that's simply because he's huge and he doesn't have like insane mobility. He does have the heal, but you can time that out. You can deal with that. Frog is going to be hard to land, and Vinny has a Silence Cloud to get out on. So my initial thought is go for the Scoop if you can. And they are actually going for the split push right now.
And actually, that is going to be the bottom turret in favor of Team Boom. First turret coming down at the 15 minute and 40-second mark of the second game of the finals of the European Qualifier 3. But you know, that top turret, it's only got 3 bars left, and it's going to be taking a lot of damage shortly if Gelati can't get there to defend it. I mean, at this point, it's safe to say that Team Boom can tank that top turret.
They can. They have shield on Frog, and the Silence Cloud, to get that in, they can do it. I think they're looking to do it right now. As soon as Totem's out, they want to do it. Blah's up there, he's ready to go down. Silence Cloud's up. Nope. No turret tanking.
Not just yet, but it'll be happening very shortly. Blah's going to be taking an airstrike right there, but he's going to be able to kind of maintain that midsection, and he's the only member of Team Boom on map. But I don't think Gelati noticed that, and that is the way to get your teammates back to teleport. If you have that constant barrage and you are holding them out in mid, your team can get back, and you can allow yourself to hold down that midsection of the map and just have that bluff presence of, yeah, my team's waiting somewhere to gank you. Yeah, my team's going to be here in a second. Don't worry about it. They'll be able to get that burst, and we'll be able to pick up a kill. But Gelati did not realize that he was going to be the only person on that. Blah was the only person on map, and Blah's actually going to pick up Flush Go-Go, and it looks like that is going to be the top turret coming down now.
Looking for that dive in, and that's almost a kill. They actually get
it.
And
it is going to be a kill. Edster is going to go down. That is going to be a 2 for none in favor of Team Boom. But as I was saying before, he had a bluff presence on map. Blah was able to play in a sort of aggressive manner that thwarted off the entirety of Gelati without them thinking that, okay, maybe the other 2 members are back. So excellent plays on Blah's end there.
Yeah, when they have proved that it is wise to be scared when they go around. If he acts like there is a Vinny ready to follow up his dash, then you don't want to be around. You don't want to be around. Your instincts are telling you no. So you really want to want to be careful when that happens, and that can be used to play mind games. One of the most fun things you could do in this game, in my opinion. If you can get the mind games in on your opponents, you're gonna have a lot of fun. All right,
and now we're gonna see critters coming out on the frog and some extra AA damage coming out for Ted.
Yeah, I spotted a difference, and that is cooldown on the scoop as opposed to snare duration. So looking for that more damage, and they figured that they didn't need all that CC. They didn't need to lock people down as hard, so they might as well just go for the damage and just keep it out. We just saw a hammer. Now we're gonna see another. It's so good for spamming. That's one hammer. We're gonna see another, like just like that. 4 seconds in between, and hammer is going to be out again. Just look at that. It's amazing. It keeps
and we
going.
see that burst coming out again, and Blah being able to pick up Klute, but Blah also getting picked up. And now Paolo is going to be on the run from the slow Tetris file. That is a really interesting post-burst kind of thing. And I really do have to say this is the first time I've ever seen Scree and Ted play like this in anything. Being able to slow, being able to hit that escape Tetris file snipe. So it's very interesting to see this type of style of play in the Alienware Awesome Cup.
2. Right, so we're approaching the late game, and we are seeing we're seeing some damage coming out of Coco, and I think that's good. I think the Blaze damage especially is going to be so good versus Frog, and Blaze upgrades in general is going to be so important, because when the Frog dashes in, he will be immune to damage. But DOT is only going to be cancelled out 1 tick, so you're almost going to get full DOT damage in on the Frog when he gets back.
And it seems like we do have a disconnect right now, but I don't know. If the teams. It looks like both teams are kind of going to hold off and wait and just kind of maintain their positions. An excellent display of sportsmanship on both sides.
Alright, it does appear that they have had some sort of connectivity issue. Seems like it is Blast's internet that is not working out as it should. They are agreeing to wait, yes. Just confirmed, they are agreeing to wait.
Great display of sportsmanship just on both sides there.
Just keeping the Scree bot is not giving any
no quarter.
Nope.
He's going in. He does not want this truce and ceasefire that they have.
Oh, he's actually doing quite some damage.
Looks like Paolo is going to have to go and defend that bottom turret as they were a bit distracted. But I'm actually going to comb through a little bit more and see when Paolo gets back, and we'll just continue from there so we're not watching nothing.
Absolutely great idea. I think we are going to be looking at he will be getting back at around 3075.
3075.
We do apologize for this. You there?
I am here. I'm just going back through it. So let's go from the 30-minute mark then, I guess.
Yeah, you got it. In 3?
Actually,
no, yeah, come on. We should just go. We have people eager to watch.
You're right. So we're going to go from 30?
Yeah.
How about we go from 29?
Sure, 29.
Because it seems like both teams at this point have kind of agreed to end their ceasefire.
And push in. All right, well, let's go for 29. You ready?
So, actually, hold on. Let me just go back a little bit and make sure, because I don't want to stop the action when some turrets are up and both teams have kind of agreed to play and continue play. So let's see. We do apologize for this inconvenience.
Internet connectivity can be problematic. All right, so I think we should go for 29.
Let's go from 24 because that's when both teams have basically...
All right, 24. You ready?
Yeah, let me just get it on the money. Okay.
24.
I am on the money.
All right, are we ready? All right. In 3, 2, 1, all right, go.
So at this point, both teams have kind of ended their ceasefire agreement and have agreed to continue and progress along in the match. Unfortunately, Team Boom is going to have to play with a Screebot at this point, but we'll see what happens. You know, these are the finals, and the rules are in place that there are no stand-ins, and both teams have kind of agreed to allow a ceasefire for the time being in an attempt to get the connectivity issues back. But Team Boom really does have to play on the aggressive right now and play very smart, as they do have a bot.
Yeah, they are going to have to... This makes it somewhat... gives it a twist, because now Gelati obviously is going to have a advantage over the bot, because it's obviously not a top-tier player. I mean, you could say a lot about bots, but they're not top-tier players.
They are not, and you know, Boom just has to play very smart right now, and they are playing very smart. They are going to be able to pick up Flush Go-Go on that exchange, and Paolo is actually going to be hunting down Kulche, but gets shotgunned and forced to go back a little bit. And here we see the burst again coming out, and he's going to go down. Paolo is going to pick up Edster, and that is going to be a 2-for-1 scenario as the bot for Team Boom goes down, but both members of Gelati.
They do have to clear out a lot of droids here to get the push in, so if they actually want to get the push up, you have to be careful that the droids don't get proxied or things like that, because the Scree is not going to be able to push up as effectively as a Blah would have done. But we are going to be we're gonna have to see what they can come up with.
And we see Flush Go-Go on his exchange with Paolo and TLR. And it looks like Paolo's just going to poke that turret a little bit, get a few pokes in, get some damage dealt on there, as the Screebot on bottom does decide to clear and continue with his push. But, you know, as unfortunate as this is, disconnects are a part of the game, and as per tournament rules, the match must go on. And the totem down below is going to force Cooljet back, and Paolo's going to be dealing some damage to Edster as TLR is looking for the hammer.
Oh, the hammer sneaking in. It was sneaking in. Had that been a hit, I think Paolo was just twitching his trigger finger, ready to just go and shoot. He wanted the dive in.
But, you know, that's a very smart play on Paolo's end. He was able to kind of decipher, okay, if I dash in right now, I may not pick up the kill, and I may get killed in exchange, so I'll play it safe. If the hammer hits, my fingers on the trigger, ready to pull it, we can always get it. But he was playing very smart there and decided to opt against it. And a lot of damage being dealt on Kulche by the bot. And we see TLR going in there, and Edster going in to take a lot of damage. Edster's going to be taking a lot of damage right now.
Oh, the mini dive.
Paolo's going to be chasing him.
On the dive is going to secure that kill. The droids still not in Boom's favor, actually. They are being pushed back quite heavily. The turret on bottom is now gone due to droids. So Boom actually needs to clear some droids to get this working. If they want this machine to work, if they want to play with a bot, they have to. They really have to get the. Oh, look at the droid wave down there. They're gonna be. If they can get that thing to the base, that's gonna not be.
Yeah, they really need to keep. They really need to keep them occupied, because Paolo can kind of get that in, and as long as they can get those that droid wave in there, that's gonna be a lot of damage on that turret.
I do agree, and it's all about now airstrike is out, so if they can get that in. Oh, Goche looking really low here, and I'm not quite sure if Paolo wants to go for it. His dash is now back up. He's scouting the area. He wants to see if he can get it, but no, he's going to go back instead. He has 422, so he can go and buy whatever he wants, and what he wants is going to be Scarfish and the Withered President Mask. so he can get the movement speed bonus and get those nice ganks, get those nice surprise dives.
But his movement speed bonus, it's definitely something to really compare in regards to the Scree's AA slow. He can drop it and just run away from it. He can escape from that slow. So it's a very smart upgrade to pick up. And we see the dash landing on Flush Go-Go. He's going to be going out, and the bot's going to pick up Cool J on bottom. And a decent battle going on up top right now as the dash is going to be picking up Flush Go-Go, and Edster is going to be left to defend this bottom turret.
And they do actually have a droid wave with them this time. They do have a droid wave. One droid, actually. Almost a droid. They just want to be tanking, as you can see. They want to make sure that that droid gets in, gets some damage. Turret is almost gone. I think they want to tank it at this point.
They are going to be tanking it at this point, and that is going to be the final turret down in favor of Team Boom. So Team Boom is going to progress to the core and look to secure their victory.
With the bot, that's actually quite impressive.
And the knocking TLR into the wrath of Edster, and the dive just hitting Edster at the edge. He's going to be taking a lot of damage right now. Both totems being dropped by both Screes, and we're going to see Kulche kind of try and hunt down TLR at this point. But TLR is going to be on the offensive as he counterattacks with Paolo and picks up Kulche. Kulche is going to go down, and TLR is looking for the kill. Flush Go-Go is going to pick up the bot, and Edster is going to be forced to defend again with Flush Go-Go just healing up. But last turret down, that core's at about 3/4 health right now. The Super Droid is going to get picked up, and Gelati really needs to push these lanes out. They really need to focus on clearing these lanes, and that huge droid wave down there is actually going to be ended by Paolo, as he's going to pick up a bunch of solar from taking that out. And he's rocking 641 solar at the current moment in time, but he's maxed out on his build.
He's maxed out. He cannot get any more. I think he's moving in for the base.
No, he's going to actually retreat back here and just play it safe, but he's waiting for TLR to get those hammers, because those hammers into those dashes are just so powerful.
Oh, and that's a blah. That's a blah.
Blah has returned.
Oh, that is a blah.
Blah has returned to finish the game.
Oh, well, he is there and he wants to enjoy, hopefully, what is going to be a victory for Boom. He wants to be there with his team. Looks like that they're doing so much damage.
That's just like a wipe. Paolo and TLR right now, and Paolo's like on the chase, and he's going to be able to pick up Edster, and now
Paolo gets triple kill.
Triple kill.
That is going to, that is going to conclude. Oh man, I don't. There is no way. Nope. Oh wow, they're just going for it.
But
oh man,
quite interesting, and Team Boom having to play with a bot in the finals was probably a rough situation for them, but they made it work. They were able to work around it. They were able to work together with the bot, actually. And we saw the scoop hammers into those dashes were so powerful, and Team Boom takes the victory.
Yes, I don't think there is too much to be said. I mean, we've already been through what each team has been trying to do with their comp, and I think the only thing that's really left to do is apologize for the inconvenience we had with the stream, but things like that unfortunately happens. Other than that, I don't have anything else to add.
All I have to say is that the post-burst comp that Gelati was running was very powerful post-burst, obviously, but the whole surviving the burst is where they needed to work in regards to keeping themselves alive for it. And, you know, being half health and staying on map against this comp is a scary thing.
Yes.
It's very scary to be at half health and to have to worry that at any given point a hammer will fall from the sky, a frog will dash me from wherever, and a Vinny will appear from thin air. So I kind of want to name Boom's comp the Houdini, because everything just happens at once. You don't know what's going to happen, but when it happens, and you're just amazed by it. The Houdini comp. The Frog, Vinny, and Scoop will now be known as Houdini.
They're all in Houdini comp. I like it.
On the other hand, we had Gelati. As we said before, that post burst was really powerful. Every time that Frog would go in and Blah would get caught off guard, that Scree was there with the slows, the Ted was there with the Ted snipe, and the Koga was there with the plays. And that's a lot of damage coming out from those three characters after that burst. So both teams played extremely well. Team Boom, congratulations on taking your victory. And that being said, I think we'll say our goodbyes, and we will see you next week for the third North American qualifier. See you guys next week.
It's been a pleasure casting for you.